Hi, my name is Paul Templier, and this is a presentation of our new article published at GECCO 2024. This work is called Quality with Just Enough Diversity in Evolutionary Policy Search. This was a collaboration with Emmanuel Rachelson and Dennis Wilson from ISO Supero, and Luca Grillotti and Antoine Cully from Imperial College London. In this paper, we take the context of neural policy search, where a policy is represented by an artificial neural network. This policy interacts with an environment by seeing the state of the environment and choosing an action. The total reward is used as the fitness score of the network in an evolutionary optimization loop, which will then generate a new improved policy to be evaluated. Evolution strategies, or ES, can be used for the continuous optimization of the network parameters, and the goal is to find the one policy with the highest possible fitness. In addition to the fitness score of a policy, which measures how well it did, we can also study its behavior, which describes the way it tried to solve a problem. For example, these three policies aim to solve the same problem of moving forward, but use different strategies to do so. One runs, one jumps higher, and the third one walks by dragging one foot on the floor. To describe these behaviors in the humanoid locomotion problem, we can then measure how often each foot touches the floor during the episode. The contact time for each foot then defines the behavior space in two dimensions, the right foot and the left foot. In the bottom left corner, with little contact time for both feet, the jumping policy spends most of its time not touching the floor, while in the top left corner, the left foot is almost always in contact with the floor. And here, the color of each cell is the fitness of the best policy found so far with this behavior. This behavior measure is used by quality diversity approaches like MapElite, which try to find the best policy for each type of behavior. MapElite keeps a repertoire of solutions by discretizing the behavior space into cells that act like behavior niches. From this repertoire, it will then sample a policy, then mutate it and evaluate it to get its fitness and its behavior. If the behavior is new, this policy will be added to the repertoire, and if there is already a policy with this behavior, the repertoire will keep the best performing one between the existing one and the new one. The aim of quality diversity is then to get a final repertoire with a set of diverse policies, each performing best in its niche. If we compare the repertoire at the end of two runs of MapElite and evolution strategies on the robotics control task, we can see that MapElite found more diverse behaviors, as seen in the better coverage of the behavior space, but they reached lower fitness scores, while the ES found better performing ones in green, but with fewer behaviors. If we look at the number of solutions evaluated in each behavior cell by each method, we see that quality diversity spreads the evaluation budget across the behavior space, while the ES focused all its evaluations on the area that yielded good scores, and this focus allowed it to find better policies. However, some problems present a deceptive fitness landscape, like this maze exploration problem, where the robot in the bottom left corner tries to reach the green target. On this problem, the ES tries to minimize the distance to the target, which leads to trying to go through the maze wall instead of going around it. Because of the deceptive fitness, the ES will try solutions closer to the target and get stuck in the wall, as seen in the yellow cell with many evaluations on the right. Meanwhile, MapElite will cover the behavior space, here the final position of the robot, and find policies that can reach the target. Solutions along the way act as stepping stones, where even if they don't reach the target, they can help find future solutions that do. Many methods have been introduced to benefit from evolution strategies in quality diversity, with MapElite with ES and CMM MapElites, and these variants with annealing and gradient arborescence for differentiable problems, or even at this GECCO 2024 with the MapElite multi-ES method. However, all these methods focus on using ES to improve the search for a repertoire of diverse solutions, while we want to focus on only finding the one best policy, like evolution strategies do. This is why we introduce the framework of quality with just enough diversity, or JEDi. In this repertoire, we can highlight two areas of interest in the behavior space, the region with good policies, and the region that has not been explored yet, and could maybe have good policies. With JEDi, we use this repertoire to learn the relationship between behavior and fitness. From this model, we select interesting behaviors, then we try to find good policies with these behaviors to inform our model. To learn the relationship between behavior and fitness, we use a Gaussian process, or GP, as a surrogate model. With the mean of the Gaussian process, we can estimate how good policies with each behavior should be, which defines the good behaviors. With the variance, we can see which areas of the behavior space have not been explored enough yet, which defines the unknown behaviors. Interesting behaviors are the ones that lead to either good scores or not explored yet enough to give a reliable idea of whether they are good or not. To select behaviors with both high scores and high uncertainty, we use a Pareto front from multi-objective optimization, which groups all the behaviors such that there is no other cell with both a better score and more uncertainty. From this Pareto front, we can then sample a batch of interesting target behaviors we want to reach. To reach a target, we use an evolution strategy to search for policies with this behavior, but also with good performance. We combine these objectives in a scoring function to compute the score of each policy in the S population. To get closer to the target behavior, we minimize the distance between the policy's behavior and the target. And to get good scores, we take the policy's fitness. Each of these scores is normalized in the S population and combined. This introduces a new parameter alpha, which balances the exploration of behavior space and the exploitation to reach good policies. This defines the weighted target fitness score used in evolution strategies in the JEDi loop. The main loop of JEDi is then as follows. We learn the relationship between behavior and fitness with the Gaussian process. Then we select interesting behaviors from the Pareto front. We search for policies with these behaviors with evolution strategies. On deceptive problems like mazes, we find that JEDi in red is able to solve problems where the ES in green gets stuck. JEDi is also competitive or even outperforms quality diversity methods like MapElite, CMA MapElite, and even PJ MapElite, which uses deep reinforcement learning. JEDi benefits from the stepping stones of QD, but then focuses on behaviors that reach the target and uses its budget on reaching the target faster instead of improving the whole repertoire. We can notice that map annealing performs very well, which means the repertoire they introduced might be a feature to study in future work on JEDi. On robotics control problems with BRACs with large networks, we find that JEDi in red is at least competitive with ES in green, and then it also outperforms quality diversity methods at finding high scores. This is seen on Walker 2D and ArtMaze. On half-theta, exploring the behavior space with JEDi avoids local optima better than standard restart methods on ES. The only method reaching better scores on half-theta is PGA MapElite, which combines QD with gradient-based deep reinforcement learning, which shows a second direction for future work on JEDi with RL. These results highlight how, on both kinds of problems, JEDi provides a better search method to find good policies by focusing on behaviors that matter. We saw earlier these plots of the fitness in the first row and the budget allocation in the second row for MapElite and ES runs with the same color scales. Compared to them, JEDi gets a better coverage of the behavior space than ES on that walking problem, and even reaches higher fitness scores on the diagonal. This exploration does not prevent it from focusing on good policies, reaching higher scores than quality diversity. The budget distribution is more spread out than with ES, showing a better exploration, but it is also more focused than MapElite, as JEDi only focuses on getting the best policies and not a full archive. This means JEDi can use most of its budget on the promising ones instead of trying to improve the whole repertoire. To conclude, in this paper we introduced a framework of quality with just enough diversity, or JEDi, in which we used behavior information from quality diversity to guide the search for the best policy. While it uses behaviors to guide the search, JEDi is not a quality diversity method and does not aim to replace them, as it does not try to find a diverse set of policies, but only one. However, we show that these behaviors can be used purely for performance to improve the ES approach with additional information. We introduced two mechanisms to balance exploration and exploitation in JEDi: the Pareto front to select target behaviors that are both good and new, and the weighted target fitness score, which balances reaching the target and getting good fitnesses. To keep developing this framework, we can draw inspiration from methods like PGA MapElite, which combines quality diversity with RL to improve the search, and JEDi could benefit from the same combination. Using behavior information means this method can also be sensitive to noise on these behaviors, which is also a phenomenon we plan to study in future work. This concludes this presentation of our paper on quality with just enough diversity in evolutionary policy search, published at GECCO 2024. Please don't hesitate to check out the full paper for more details or to contact us for any question. Bye.